Hi, this is Philip Bluestein, and I sent you the link to the marketing funnel that I use. It's built in a platform called ClickFunnels, which is a really good platform. I really like using it. It makes it actually relatively simple as things go. So I sent you the funnel. So what you're going to do is you'll click on that link, I believe, and that will do one of two things. If you already are using ClickFunnels, then it should just load it right into your ClickFunnels account. If you're not, I believe what it does is send you to a page basically to sign up for the free trial of ClickFunnels. You get a 14-day free trial, and then it's like $97 a month, which I have found to be pretty cheap in light of what it can do. Anyway, so what it'll do is that you go on and sign up for the free trial and you can play around with it then and decide if this works for you or not. Anyway, once you're in, I don't know if it's going to bring you into this dashboard or not, but if it doesn't, up here along here, you can see like there's a little thing here. You can then click on funnels and it will take you to a list of all the funnels that you have. So we're just waiting here for this to do its thing. Try that again. There it goes. Okay, so it's going to bring me to a list of all the funnels that I have right now. I'm working on, so I've got them kind of closed down. This is a new one I'm working on. And then we have the one we've got here is I opened up here is how to avoid probate opt-in. That's what it's called, so it should be called that on yours as well. So I can now just click on this funnel. What it's going to do is it's going to take me into the editor area or the information specifically for that funnel. So we'll just wait. Okay. So it's going to look something like this. This is actually the way my funnel looks. You can design it however you want. You can make all kinds of changes, and I'm going to show you how to do that just real quick here. We're just only going to take a couple of minutes. This is actually a two-step funnel, so it has two steps in it, plus it also has a pop-up, and I'll explain that. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to want to start with the first page here, and it's the opt-in page. So what happens is you're going to click on this button, Edit Page, and hopefully it'll open. There we go. So it will open into a page here, and which is going to allow you to edit it or make changes or whatever. So this is what the page. It's actually really easy to work within this and make changes. You see the gearbox here, whatever. You can make changes in it, and it's got different levels or whatever. So like you can change the title here. This is the graphic that we use. We have a downloadable, which that's what you're going to want to create some kind of download that people will want to download because you want them to give you their email, and hopefully then you'll be able to get them to schedule, a consult or get them on your mailing list or your email newsletter list or things like that, and start reaching out to them, sending them videos and things like that will help hopefully bring them in for consults, etc. So this is, it's not particularly exciting. And actually, as I'm looking at it now, I may want to change some of it, although it seems to be working pretty well. Anyway, so we have this, and just try to have language that will attract attention or whatever. It's a free guide, sometimes referred to as a cheat sheet, and then I just put some questions down here. Things that people might be asking, they might be wondering about. And again, as I said, you can go through this and you can make changes to it. I'm not going to make any changes because this is mine. I should have opened up the copy that I made instead. But since we're on this, actually, I'm going to go back. I don't need to make any. I don't need to save it. So, it wants me to save it. I didn't make any changes, so I'm not going to save it. We're just going to leave the page. I'm going to go back to my list, and we're going to use the copy one that I have just in case I make any changes. I don't want to mess up the funnel I have and then find out how that I need to fix it. So I'm just going to go back out here to my list of funnels. If it lets me, this is probably operator error, not anything with the program. It works very well. So it's going to take me back here. And so I made a copy of the funnel. It's really easy to do that. I'm not going to go into that. So we've got, we're going to open the the funnel here. All right, there it goes. And just in case I make any accidental changes, don't want to mess up my stuff. So we're going to go back in here. We've got the edit page. We're going to go on that. And then as soon as that opens, I'll show you a couple things on it, some other things on it. So we talked about the editing and how you do that. You can change the background color and the font and all the, everything you would expect to be able to change and tailor the way you want it. Okay, couple of important things here, just so that you know. This, I said it has a pop-up. So here where it says pop-up in there, we're going to click on that in a second, but I want to show you a couple other things here. So on settings, we've got integrations. This is new. I don't have anything integrated into it, but that basically is what you're gonna do. One of a couple of things when you do integrations. If you're using an autoresponder, we happen to use Active Campaign right now, and it's real simple to set that up. And so what you would do, so and here I would find the one I want to use. So here's if I wanted to, this is a different one I've got, but I could say, okay, I'm going to integrate it with that, and then it'll ask me what the action is, what I want it to do. I wanted to, in this circumstance, I wanted to add to my list that I have. It's then going to ask me what list. This is all through Active Campaign. It works with a lot of other ones. Active Campaign was recommended to me. And here I say, okay, I want it to go to my estate planning list. So now every time somebody enters their email on this, it will go automatically to this list. You can connect it to MailChimp and a bunch of others. I think it connects to Infusionsoft or whatever that's called now, Keep, I think it's called. It doesn't work with Constant Contact. At least I don't think it does. I'm not using it with our Constant Contact account. Anyway, okay. So then you've got, and we just clicked out of it. Here we are. We've got the integrated SEO stuff. It's, that's like it says, you're going to put information in here, images, all that kind of stuff. That's pretty straightforward, I think. The other thing, and this is actually probably the most important thing, other important thing is here general. So you don't have to use another program to do it. You can actually do some other stuff. So here, we don't have it here, but if I wanted to, see, I have some things that are loaded in here. I'll show you how to do this in a second. But say this is like, I could put my downloadable right here, and then it's saved in ClickFunnels, and then you don't have to worry about having it connect to something else. It'll still connect the emails. There's some other reasons why I use a different integration. That's because I like to have it in a CRM that I can use and manipulate. This is not a CRM, but it will integrate with a whole bunch of them. Anyway, but if I didn't want to do that and I just want to keep it simple, I would just click on there. Okay, that's in there. Now that happened to already be in there, so that was not, I didn't have to worry about it. Anyway, but you can adjust all these other things in here, change it however you want. I'm going to show you the pop-up here real quick. So the pop-up, this works with the pop-up. So when I go into that, it just brings up this. This is where it is asking for first name, last name, and the email address. These are all, if I click on this, you'll see it'll bring up for each one. Okay, what I want. I can change it to other stuff if I wanted other information. We can even add more of these fields. So, whatever you want. And then the other thing too is they're set to, if you want to make sure they enter a piece of information, most importantly their email, you're going to click required. You can adjust everything, font size, top margin, how far down it is. I'm not going to make any changes on that. So anyway, and then we have here, okay, they enter their information and then they click the button. That's just a setting. Here we've got, it's just set action, this green thing here. That's telling it what it's going to do. In this case, we're going to submit order form. What it's then going to do is that just causes it to send the document. However, we've got it integrated in this. You do have other options. You can send it to Facebook. You can have it go to a website. It may not collect you want to make sure it collects your email, but if you were to say, oh, I'm going to go to a website, it's going to ask you to put the URL in, see all that kind of stuff. But we'll just leave it on this. I guess you open another pop-up in, or maybe that runs the whole thing. I'll show you. Anyway, so that's real simple. I just put a picture of our ebook again here. This is, I don't know, this is just something that I think it was just a selection. We told it how much, and so it just shows up. And then when they're done with that, so then we'll come out of the pop-up. Every time you make changes and stuff, what you're going to want to make sure you do also is go and hit save, just so that it saves those changes. It does not automatically save anything. You have to tell it to do that. Okay. So we've finished this step. Then we're going to exit. It may ask me to save it, because I don't think I did. Well, I guess I didn't make any changes. So we're going to come back here, and then we have step 2. Well, in this one I was actually adding another page. Don't worry about that because I was going to eliminate the pop-up, but don't worry about it. But in the one I'm sending you, it's going to go straight to the second page is this one. And so what this page does is once they've downloaded it, then we're going to have, we're basically, it's kind of the thank you page. Real simple. If we go into it, okay, let it bring it up. Here you go. And so all you got to do is change this stuff around. We have this button here. You can do this too. We created a Facebook group, which allows people to discuss, if they want to discuss it or have questions, so they can join the Facebook group here. When you click on these things, it just brings this stuff up. So then again, you can see here it's set, go to a website, so it's going to our Facebook page there. So make sure you change that, otherwise your people will be going to mine, which I suppose they don't mind, but that's probably not where you want them to go. Anyway, so you can make all these changes, manipulate it, etc. So that's the whole funnel. And so you can, at any time, if you hit preview here, it'll show you that page, like what it'll actually look like. Again, you might, if you're linking any documents, or you're collecting any email or anything else further on these other pages, you're going to want to integrate it. You're going to want to have it in the general. You might have to do some things like that, like if there's a document you wanted to if you wanted to download specifically from ClickFunnels as opposed to your own CRM that you're integrating with it. I'm going to run back over here real quick. We didn't make any changes, so we don't need to save it. It's moving slow. That's my computer, I'm sure, or the internet. Okay, so when we're in here, you can go back and forth. So you've got that set up. A couple of things. If we click on this one here, visit the funnel, or you can do, I think this does it too. You can create a variation. So if you want to have one, the variations are on the pages. You can have different pages and basically try different funnels on how you want to do it. So that's nice if you wanted to. So for example, like the funnel I'm working on, I'm going to do variations on it. It's to doctors, but there are all kinds of different doctors. So I'm going to do one for chiropractors and one for medical doctors. Those are the things that people do with variations. Okay. You're also going to need, if we go back, the other thing you need to know, other couple things you need to know about is this is actually the link for the funnel. So that's good to know. But if we go into settings here, I think this is where it is. If we go into settings, we have some information here. This is just a tracking code. You can Google that if you want to find more about it. And then you can change the name and stuff in here. I think these are just for your purposes, not theirs. You can create group tags, all this kind of stuff. It may need a domain. So, well, it will need a domain. So you can host it, you can have it run through, this is it's a mini website. It's a landing page thing. Now you can run it, you can attach it or use your own domain. You're going to want to use a subdomain from your website, which is pretty easy to do. You can Google, how to create a subdomain. My stuff's hosted through GoDaddy, and they have a tutorial. It takes like 5 minutes. And basically, so it has, in this case, Rocky Mountain Rules of Trust. We had created a subdomain and then cut and pasted the name of it into here for us. Mine's already in there, so I would say, okay, it's going to be part of that. Now that's where it's living. Okay, so that's important. And then the other thing is, I told you, I'm going to go in here. If we go into account settings, this is the other thing. If you want to upload your document, we're going to go into account settings. And then what we're going to do is all this other stuff. You don't have to worry about all this right now. But you're going to go into digital assets. So you're going to click on digital assets. That is where, if you're going to put your document in there. So see, I have it in there. I don't use it. It goes through ActiveCampaign, which is what I use. But I have it in there anyway. So I could run it through that. This is the other one I'm working on, the five secrets ebook that I wrote. So and I put it in there, although that's also running through, that's going to run through ActiveCampaign as well. I won't have to worry about it. What I've done in ActiveCampaign, just so that you know and understand why you might want to do that, is I'm able to set up through that, and you can probably do this with some of the others. I can automate what's going to happen. So it collects the email and other information that I may request, but it also, what it does is then I can take that and automatically have it start sending those marketing emails. I can like the asset protection, or excuse me, the avoiding probate one starts right away, and it sends an email for the next 11 days. It sends them one email. I recorded a video and I embedded that in there, so they get an email of me talking about some reason why it's really important to essentially use a living trust, or talk to them about, well, this is about asset protection, or this is about estate planning or probate. And they're really short videos, couple minutes, maybe 2-3 minutes each, and then some text, obviously. But I use that as the marketing way. And so they may not watch all of them, but it's a good way to do it. So, but that's why we integrate it. But if you're just trying to check, collect the emails, you don't need to go through all that. It will collect them in here. There is if we get out of here, there's somewhere in here. These are some of their own products and stuff. Don't worry about that right now. But I can remember how to get out. Let's go back to funnels. That's basically it, though. I think when I had that, but basically there is a place where contacts you're going to find them. See here, contacts under ClickFunnels. Contacts, and I won't go into that list right now, but that's where all the information that it collects, the contacts are there to you, and you can export that into a Excel file or something like that as well, if you just want to do it that way, and then plug that information in for your various campaigns. So you can do that. So that is basically it. It's pretty simple to use. It only takes, really, with the one I'm sending you, it'll only take you a few minutes to set it up, I would think. You just need to make sure big things are the domain. You're going to want to have some kind of download that's going to be, something that people will want to download with a snappy title. Please, you might end up getting mine. Please don't copy mine. Just come up with something. It doesn't have to be, my ebook is like, a whole 12 pages long. It's not that. It's not that big a deal. It's just something that people might want to download to learn more about it. It's really your opportunity to capture their email. Okay, well, that's basically it. So if you have any questions, you can give me a call, shoot me an email, and I'll be happy to answer what I can. Okay?